right, everybody. Welcome to another breaking news. I got some pretty good, exciting stuff. Some of you might enjoy it, some of you might not. And today's in the Mandela field. It's gonna be a little different. There's a challenge question that somebody gave me to do a challenge, and I'm going to take that challenge, and that's going to be in the Mandela field. But like I said, I added world news to the show where these are internet stories. These aren't videos. Some things are going on because sometimes new videos you can't play yet just because copyrights and who owns them. But stories from the internet you can show. So that's why there's gonna be a little mix. But we got some good ones, and we're gonna start with the world news. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty will know. Scotty has to know. Scotty's gonna know. Gonna tell Scotty. Gonna tell myself. Scotty has to know. Scotty has to know. Scotty has to. Scotty has to. Scotty has to go. Scotty doesn't. I don't know why, man. That song is so catchy. Scott doesn't know.
I love it. And how Matt Damon is the one singing the song in Euro Trip too. And at the end, he's like, Scotty doesn't know. Like after the music ends, I love it. And my favorite line from that movie is, "This isn't where I parked my car." When Cooper is in the bathtub with the girl.
Yep. Oh yeah. I that's one of those movies I have to watch every year. It's just so fun, so great. That's one of the things that in the early 80s what I loved about punk rock. It was simple, 3 chords, play it. Iggy Pop and the Three Stooges, it's just, there's so many great punk bands that just 3 chords, we play in your face and it's fun, you get out, I mean, of course you got the Ramones, of course you got your Sex Pistols, the Clash, but Roland's band, the Dead Milkmen. There's so many great punk rock bands that I don't think punk gets enough credit to the music world, because people look at punk like, it's just fast hitting the drums. No, it's simple, fun, fast. They tell what they want to say and they're out. So people give punk rock a chance. I'm telling you, there used to be a punk rock channel on Sirius XM, and they got rid of it and they called it something else. And it kind of sucks. I kind of miss that. But guys, this ain't about the punk rock show. This is about the world news. I'm sorry, I'm about to get off on this. Here's one that came out. Actually, it's January of this year. Chronicles looking back at Western New York Bigfoot sightings. And of course, I'm not going to read everything from here to here, but looking at the history of Bigfoot, there's some names on here that, since I have Connor on, I thought I could ask him. It says here, in the Western New York sightings, 1960, you have the Bativa, how do you pronounce that? Bativas Bigfoot?
Yeah, I'm actually not too familiar with that one.
Okay.
Where's it from? Tonawanda Creek in the 1960s. So 7 years before the famous Bluff Creek footage. Very interesting.
Well, let's see here. The Daily News was skeptical, but still ran a big photo of an 8-inch footprint left by a mystery beast under the railroad bridge over Tonawanda Clear near Walnut Street on a summer night in 1960. Well, it wasn't a ghost. That's for sure, because it left a footprint. Okay, makes sense, because you haven't really heard ghosts leaving footprints. I heard leaving like slime and stuff, but that makes sense. Reported to Daily News, and what tracks 8 inches long, but if it wasn't a ghost, then what was it? As Donald Prolong, 15, and a few other friends crossed the bridge one night, they heard a loud, terrifying, banshee-like screech resound from the area of the creek below. The Potawatomi police were, so that's the town, because there's the Potawatomi police were joined. So they're just probably naming that Bigfoot incident with the name of the police force. Makes more sense. But still, it's like a name that I haven't heard before. Under the bridge, it was dark, too dark to tell. Young Donald told the paper, but they could tell it was fairly large, and it scrambled out into the murky water. The only evidence cops found of a beast were a few giant footprints, which were photographed by newspaper photographers who have joined in the hunt. The skeptical excitement turned to enrolling when the night someone painted similar footprints leading up to the steps of skeptical excitement turned into when the next night somebody the next night was trying to draw footprints. So, you know what that sounds like to me? I mean, I'm not a conspiracy person, but sounds like to me, maybe a government person sent somebody out to paint footprints the next day to make it look like it's a hoax. You know, I'm just reading it from there. I mean, because why would they even write that in there? The next day, somebody was painting the footprint. You know,
it's always that weird little extra sentence that we pick up on. And once you read enough articles and correlation, you can see their little rhetorics to try to hide things.
Now, here's one that's called in the 1980 New Fangs Bigfoot.
Niagara, New York.
Yeah. So, New Fame police officer has spent 4 years investigating the beast. Says he's encountered while picking some corn for dinner. He didn't see it, but he saw a 3-toed footprint left behind. So, this was actually a 3-toed footprint that was left behind.
Okay. Very interesting. That reminds me of the Honey Island swamp monster and kind of like a gator man type creature.
Yeah, yeah. On March 3rd, 1980, the above the banner, the headline of the Cary Express read, "Officer has photos of Niagara Country beast," which is story headline Bigfoot. It's supposed to be between 5 feet 6 inches. So this is kind of a shorter Bigfoot. 6 feet tall and weighs between 300 and 350 pounds. Big fella.
Yeah.
5'6". That's a big fella.
It's a lot of toe support for those three, you know?
Yeah. And
it's a small, stout being, but thick.
And it does say here, I hesitate to call it a Bigfoot or Sasquatch. I just don't know what to call it. Makes sense. I mean, you know, if you don't know well, even if you saw a Bigfoot, I mean, is it a wolf man? You know, I mean, there's no like blueprint on what a Bigfoot should look like, or a Sasquatch should look like, or a ghost, or the New Jersey Devil. You know, I mean, there's different creatures out there. I mean, it's would be impossible, but
it's funny you mention that because I actually heard a New Jersey Devil encounter at the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference, and I was like expecting one with wings, but no, it was like a Bigfoot type creature. So even the New Jersey Devil can fall under a Bigfoot type creature, and there's many other things rather than Sasquatch, Bigfoot, dogmen, reptilian creatures, werebears. There's a lot out there. So all we can do is analyze and hopefully collect data and then share it.
I like this part. There's no reason why you can't have Bigfoot in Western New York. Well, of course not. I mean, if the beast exists and we know it exists, they could be anywhere. You can't control where they're going to go or not. You know, a Bigfoot's not going to say, "Oh, that's New York. We don't want to go to fucking New York. They pay too much taxes over there." Come on, there's a forest, there's food. They're going to go there. And then in 2006, you got the Clarence Bigfoot. Let's see. Mickey Baker's article, she reported it likely a jokester in a... Okay, they're writing likely a jokester in a monkey suit. Okay, but also that Hans Mobius swears up and down that he saw and photographed bizarre beast covered from head to toe with dark hair that walked on 2 legs near a patch of dense woods on 100-acre forces farmer clearance. You know, I always hate stuff like when they talk about somebody in a suit. Now, there are people that could be in a suit, but a suit can't magically make you over 6'8", you know, that hairy. I mean, if you put on a Bigfoot outfit, Connor, I mean, if you can make it look like you're 6'8" with that suit on, then you're amazing. Because, yeah, people can put on suits, but not to look. You can't look that big unless you have fucking, I don't know, extra padding. And then I'm sure if you have all that extra padding somehow to make you look that large, it's gonna look fake as shit.
Right. There is camera tricks, though. You know how they make miniatures look like this whole city's being demolished. But a little farther down, it says Jeffrey Meldrum, who's like one of the main scientists in the Bigfoot field. He says it's obviously a man in a suit. Look at the forearms. You can see where it tapers into a glove. So I definitely respect, some analyzation from that. But again, not everything is a suit, because I've had people come at me on Sideways on some great Sasquatch ones that you could see movement, and they'll be like, it's just a suit. So that's just a term people can just throw out and get away with, they think. But no, we have the knife to their neck and them on their heels, because we have proof. We have tons of analyzation that go well beyond even credible encounters. Now there is footprints, DNA, eDNA, and now Doug Highcheck was just talking about last night on a show with Bigfoot Rob and Tex. He was saying there's a new kind of oil that they've recovered that it gives like 3 different type of DNAs that you can kind of like structure these creatures. So we're closing that gap, and I love it.
And I got one more article to show you guys. Now, all week, guys, I'm adding this new article thing into the show. Pop actually wrote, Paranormal New York, you need to come upstate. We have all ghosts. Yeah, Fixie Pop, you should get with Purgatory Paranormal New York. She's the real deal. She does real research, and she's got great stuff on her channel. And hey, now Fixie Pop, once every 2 years, I have to go to upstate New York, because that's where my wife's family is. I'm not sure. She has a nephew that's getting married, and if it's this year, I think I have to go. So I might be upstate New York, and if I have to go to New York, then I can't go to Florida. I can't do both. But they're just got engaged, so I don't know if it's this year or next year. So I might be upstate New York. I don't know when, but for sure, I'll be there next year for sure. And I want to get with Mike from Long Island Bigfoot. He already said once I come up there, I could visit him, go up there, because no offense to my wife's family. I don't want to hang out with them. She's probably watching the show like, you motherfucker. You son of a bitch.
Hey, you made the most of it last New York trip, though. You did some Bigfoot hunting and talked to some witnesses, went to Haunted Graveyard in an old school. You definitely rounded your bases.
Oh, there's a lot of history. Any city you go to, especially East Coast. On the East, there's so many graveyards. Remember, this is the oldest part of the country. So there's so much death, so much things that has happened, civil wars and stuff. I mean, damn, there's a lot of history. You don't have to go far to go anywhere for a haunted house. There's actually a haunted house in Cortland, New York, that was actually on a Ghost Hunters, whatever. And I was supposed to go to it when I was down there, but something happened. We couldn't. We ended up at Hershey Park. Hershey Park out there in Pennsylvania.
And,
yeah.
You're close to where I'm from.
Well, fuck, man. We go there. Oh, great. In the middle of the day, fucking pouring down fucking rain. I mean, so bad that my clothes were so wet, I had to buy clothes. And it's like, rain or shine, you got to be there. So it's all right. But guys, here's another story that, if you type in people's name, right? You guys type his name, you might be surprised what articles you come up. If you type in good old Connor Flynn there are articles that actually will come up on them. Look at this
Hopefully
one.
no
I'll show you
warrants.
guys this one. In Bay County, the stomping grounds for Bigfoot. A cryptid hunter publishes research. And look who's in this article.
Yeah, it's pretty funny because this is recirculating on Facebook. Like, this was posted like last August, and I've gotten like 18 recent likes on Facebook of people being like, that's so cool. Congratulations. I'm like, I've been on, man. I've been in the front page in the newspaper, get with it. But it is very cool to see it break through the mainstream 100%.
No, that's just, it is just awesome. And guys, I'm going to put that article in the chat so you guys can read it, check it out. And it's very cool to see.
The journalist really did his research on me and on other cryptids too. He actually told me about some lake monsters that I had no clue about. So this was really cool. And sadly, it was right when we were getting hit by some type of hurricane. So it actually got printed in the Sunday paper, but literally there was like bad flooding on that Sunday. So I never got a physical copy, but this lives on, and it's me, the Sasquatch, and homeboy Cam.
Yeah, and guys, we're going to be jumping over to the Bigfoot, but before we go, I do want to apologize. I do want to apologize to Fizzy Pop. They had a show the other day, and I was in the chat. I wasn't like super, super nice. I was nice, but I should have been nicer, and I know that. And Fizzy Pop, so I'm just telling you, I apologize. It's just I think my channel and the channel that you're on will have fun if we got together. You know, to me, I feel like if two channels want to get together, it's easy to do. Boom. What day you want, you're on. So I apologize, Fizzy Pop. You guys have a great channel over there, and hopefully one day, I wasn't trolling. I wasn't trolling. I love that channel. I always go there. You guys have a fun channel. You guys look at the pictures like we do. You monitor it. But hopefully you could talk to Scared Performance and say, we do got to get the Gypsy Road team on there. Me, Connor, Dr. Wu. We would have a good time with you guys. I'm telling you, we would have a good time. Because we all like having a good time here. Yes, we're all about having a good time. We're here to have good time so much. That's why we're going to jump right into the Bigfoot section. All right, I actually have 3 videos today on the Bigfoot side. I'm going to be showing one about the Yeti hunters in Australia. Yeti hunters in Australia. And then I'm going to show 2 different videos of Connor here and a Daily Dan on both finding footprints. I like seeing different footprints and how they evaluate it, how they're looking at it. So just in case, if you guys are out there in the mountains or woods or whatever, if you see something, maybe you might hear something on what they're saying. Can make sense for you on if you found a foot or not. It's like we're learning, we're experiencing. But before we go there, this one is about the Yeti hunters out there in Australia. My Australia boys.
The Yowie hunters.
The Yowie hunters.
A chance encounter these Yowie hunters insist is the breakthrough they've been searching for.
Randomly panning around, and there you have it. 2 of them. We were ecstatic. I mean, this was probably the best footage so far in Australia.
Buck and Dean say those blobs aren't human, but creatures 9 feet tall.
The first thing I asked when I got this footage was where was everyone in camp, and then I demanded their heat signatures.
We were kilometres into rough terrain, up in the mountains in the middle of the night.
The closest Dean Harrison has been in a 25-year quest that so far cost him $100,000. The bulk of it spent in Springbrook National Park.
They'll leave stick symbols around the tracks in the bush, and there'll be sticks in the ground.
The hunters say they captured the 2 Yowies on this state-of-the-art thermal imaging camera, which can pick up the heat signatures of any animal or creature quite clearly in dense bushland. As for physically capturing one,
Definitely trying to.
They'll need to if they're to convince the non-believers.
I think that's a load of bollocks.
Mate, it's possible, eh? Yeah, definitely possible.
Now that would be a story. Josh Ribberich, 7 News.
That's not bad little footage of the heat seeking, because that's
When they put the comparison between the men and the creatures they filmed, it was twice as big as them. Those were very big beings.
Yeah, let's see if we could pause that part. Let's see here. Is it right there? Right there.
Yep. Look at that.
That's pretty good because if you're saying that's not Bigfoot and you can't, then what is it? It's got to be something that create heat like a human. It doesn't look like a bear. That thing's if that's a bear, that's a fucking radioactive bear. That's a huge ass fucking bear. But maybe in actually, is there bears in Australia?
Not that I know of, but there are hyenas and kangaroos, but that looks like a Yowie to me.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good footage, guys. I'm telling you, this is something that it's hard to question. You know,
and I definitely recommend Yowie Hunters YouTube channel because they speak English just like you and I, but they have a whole different dialect and rhetoric and style of speaking. But to hear other English speakers talking about their encounters with this creature, oh wow! And Yowie Hunters is a amazing structure. It's like 25 minutes. They interview the people. It's very cool. It's like the Australian Bigfoot Odyssey. It's very, very, very cool. And then I know you talked about Track before, the Australian Yowie documentary. And I don't know if I like watched that late at night. I was like a little too baked or something, but that documentary was actually like scary. Like it had me feeling some type of way. So definitely recommend Track if you got like Amazon Prime, and then Yowie Hunters YouTube channel. Love it.
Let me just do a shout out people that are here. Nino Boss is here. Dina P is here. Ralph Cassie Francis, he's awesome. I'm here. Dave Summers, Robert Murr, Shelly's been, man, she's been with this channel from the beginning. I mean, she's really been there. You know, a lot of times she might not be posting stuff in the chat, but she's always listening because she's always leaving comments. Which, people, yesterday was a great start. You guys are leaving comments. I love comments, and I always try to respond back to comments. So leave a comment, even if you hate the show. Say, guys, I hate the fucking show. You know, Robert Moore, I missed it. There's Chasing. There's Dinah P. She's awesome. Daily Dan, who been actually helping out a lot, putting people's channels in the chat. So Dan helps me out by putting people's links and chats. That's a lot. And then of course Fizzy Pop, she's a fun person. Purgative New York, Even D. And then did I miss? If I miss somebody, I apologize. But guys, let's look at, I'm going to share a screen here. I'm going to show, let me go here a second. There it is. Let me go here a second. Now, this first video, of course, I'm not going to play the full 1 hour and 42 minutes, but I will put the link to this episode so you can watch the whole thing. This is actually, this is Connor. This is Connor video he just did over the weekend. And this is a Skunk Ape Mecca with the Cult 45 podcast. In this section I'm about to show you is the section where Connor's walking his trail and he spotted a footprint. So let's watch a couple of minutes of this. I put the whole link in the chat. Here's the link right there.
And just to appetize it up, Evan D is in the chat right now, Occult 45. He road tripped all the way from Tampa up here. He interviewed Stacy Brown the day before we went hiking, and Stacy had his, encounter and footage right here at Torreya State Park. So how awesome of a podcast host and just an explorer of this time for Evan to go across state and then reach out to the local expert, the local lore guy. And then, man, within like 18 minutes, we found grade A evidence of the skunk ape. We got to touch the Torreya tree, which is gopher wood, what Noah used to build the ark. We were sitting in the Garden of Eden, and it was an incredible weekend. But, man, it was just inspirational, too, because I'm a road tripper myself. And when I see people put their neck out, I'm like, heck yes, man. So very excited. And, yeah, man, keep your eye peeled in every direction because Torreya has energy overload.
Yeah. God, exciting times. I mean, life is so exciting. Don't sleep on it, people. Live in it. And there's good old Hobbs. Hobbs is actually one of my subscribers. He's actually subscribed to my channel, and I appreciate that. He's actually been there from the beginning, and I'd like to see more of you get a chance to subscribe to my channel. It's right there. There's $2.99, $4.99, and $8.99, and I'm trying to get 10 people, because if I get 10 people this week after the show on Friday, I want all you guys to come on privately, and we're going to work together on what we're going to put on for next week's show. So you can actually become part of the show, part of, hey, I know this video. Be part of the show. So if you want to sign up, go for it. If you don't, no big deal. But let's go watch Connor's video here. Let me press play. Let me get it big and play.
Tree that is? With those like sawtooth leaves?
Not entirely sure right off bat.
Cool.
Hopefully on the Garden of Eden tour, we'll see all the 27, 28 trees, and they got the signs and all the information. So maybe we'll deduce it down, or I'll have to rewatch one of my old videos and do some research. But yeah, there's a trail down there that cuts into the swamp as well, and then that loops back up. It's really cool. I love this vine too. It, of course, brings you back to Tarzan days and think about the swamp ape and the skunk monkey, the rod bender, the stump jumper. You think he's moving really quickly through the forest. He's got all these vines and paths of least resistance. Exactly. Keep your eyes peeled to the sky. I see comments all the time on documentaries. They're like, no one looks to the sky. I'm like, well, in Florida, we're making sure we're not getting eaten by rattlesnakes and water moccasins, but I make sure to look at the sky. I got no choice. Like look at this.
Whoa.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Come on this side. You can see the heel right there. Toes. That is amazing. Come on. Wow. And that's as big as, way bigger than my hand. I'd say about 10 inches. But you can see the toes. You can see the prints.
Oh yeah.
So let me pause this and let me ask you. So when you're walking, it was the first thing that, because I want everybody to learn too. Is it the first thing that caught your eye was a different color of the sand right there at that moment in time?
Yup, I noticed the disturbance first, and then I saw it was a footprint facing toward me. So I had to walk past it and then circle back to get that full view. But both of us saw it right away. It was hard to miss. It was raining at the moment, like drizzling. And then so the ground was soft, but you could see that was definitely fresh, very fresh, maybe from that morning or maybe the night before. And right there, you can see the toes. And I only see 4 toes, which is really interesting because that correlates with a lot of the skunk ape tracks that they find in South Florida. And then mid-Florida research team, Marie Dumont and Tim T, they just found a 4-toed print. So it's very, very interesting. I wish we got to cast it, but it was raining and we had a lot of ground to cover. But I did get some pictures of it too that I posted recently, and it had the Bigfoot internet, running wild. Squatch Me Now is one of the biggest platforms to share like pictures and stuff next to myself. But he was really interested in the picture, and Stacy thought it was awesome, and a lot of the local researchers that I looked to for their opinion, they all thought it was very interesting. But there was some people that are like, that's a shoe mark, that's a size 10, and I just don't see that, man. I can see the toes.
Listen, if they would have said, if they're gonna make that kind of a consumption, I would have used size 10. They should at least went with 13 or something. Man, come on. I wear a size 13. That's bigger than my feet. Okay.
It's about the same as our feet because it wasn't huge. It was bigger than my hand, and my hand's probably like 6.5 inches. So I think it was between 10 and 13 inches. So it was a young one. It definitely wasn't an alpha creature. I think it was just a young, careless one, probably getting back to the nest or getting back to its swamp through the night of active hunting. Because when it's raining, then they are the apex predators out there.
Well, let me ask you now. I've heard that there's some feet. There actually is 5, but one of the feet peaking is a little bit more up. So when it presses, one of the toes just doesn't touch the ground because the other ones are closer to the ground versus the one.
Definitely possible on this one too.
Yeah, somebody was telling me that. Now, so you guys saw this footprint. Now let me jump on over to hold on a second. I
did consider maybe those track shoes that like kind of have your toes and stuff. So yeah, I deduced a million things before I jumped to that's a barefoot, but really quickly we saw that was a bare footprint. And not BEAR, BARE. Bear.
And I wanted to show this because I want to show, different looks of a footprint because his was in more of the running, the rain, dirt. Now, this is Daily Dan doing his Bigfoot research, like Connor going on his walk. And let's see what he runs into.
You track. How you track that? You can see the leaves in the area. Oh, completely uniform.
They all look the same way after a hard rain. Beat down and wore down.
And one of the things I do like Connor and what Dan does too is where when they're walking, they're explaining what the area, what it's doing. Like the way Dan is explaining, look at the ground, look where it's facing. When Connor does his walks, he tells you the history, the story, and kind of look at the land. Kind of makes you kind of think that when you're in an environment, look how the ground is at first. Look how things are. Trees broken.
Something transgressors through there. They tend to ruffle up the leaves. They tend to break them up a little bit.
You can see where whatever it was traveled. And that's tracking 101. It don't take the third generation trackers to tell you that. Just takes a good old boy from South Carolina. I'm going to digress on that too. Something put down a big ass foot right here. See that YouTube? A big footprint there. The single area is hard for me to tell because they were showing up on camera, but there's something really huge pressed down there.
So of course, he's not in the mud. His is looking at how the leaves are, and there's a section by his hand that there's a small dent. I know sometimes it's harder to see. Let me see if I can. You know, so like I said, finding footprints is not easy, but if you
It's
really,
very subtle.
it's very subtle, and you probably have to be there to know. Like if you're looking at a second dimensional, I'm looking on a camera, so I can't really see the unlevel compared to the leaves. But if you're there, I'm sure he's really seeing it. Even though I see it here, it's more dented, but I bet you it's more to the eye when you're there.
100%. And luckily now there's new things on phones, like Matt Williamson from Squatch in South Florida. He has that. It's like a LiDAR. It will 3D scan that. So it would be really cool if Danny takes that to the next level, because he is in these leafy areas, lots of foliage and just droppings. But yeah, I could definitely see an indentation. And if you compare it to his boot size, that thing's pretty large, because a boot is twice as thick as our foot. So imagine if that thing still dwarfs a good sized man's boot. And then you can see X's pretty much in every direction.
Yeah.
But again, these creatures, the cryptids, the paranormal, they live in world of subtleties, small subtleties, just small changes. Where humans, we need lights, camera, action, you know, things exploding. We need it big, but man, that's where you have to slow down. And just like he was just saying, that's the emphasis of tracking, just keeping your eyes open. The more experience you have, the better you're going to get. There is no secret to it. It's just trying to get to know the lay of the land. Of course, there's lots of things to know, and they will help you out, but anybody can do it. And just because you're not a trained professional doesn't mean you can pick up. It's in our instincts to track.
And I just like having the two videos next to each other, because you saw one using the mud and one where there's no mud, but look at the ground, look at the grass, look at the leaves. So different kind of footprints, but the same almost kind of size when you break it down there. But that's kind of interesting. You talk about getting that 3D tool. So, I mean, how much is that kind of a tool? That sounds like it's probably
it's on the new iPhones, and most of the new
really?
smartphones have it. And then you can literally send that file to a 3D printer, and it will print that thing. So yeah, it's just LiDAR and
okay. No, I got it.
There's probably levels to it, but you probably have it already.
My 17-year-old son has a 3D printer in his room, and when he prints in his room, he has to leave his room because of the chemicals, and then he makes it out there. And he makes these awesome little soldier things. But like I say, he feeds the information through USB, and it sees it, and then it just starts making it.
Yep,
it's freaking awesome.
Well, Matt will send you a file of his footprint, and he could print it for y'all. You could have a Skunk Ape footprint over in Oregon and Washington area.
I'll ask my son how big can his make it. Maybe I don't know what the exact size, but I'll find out from him. Is it a big? Can you do a big print, or is it just little army men? But those things, man, I'm telling you, when they make them, they're like identical. Sorry, guys. Sorry, a little off subject, but I love learning about new stuff.
No, it's on subject. It's the future of footprints, 100%. Like, you have the ability to have that footprint printed by the time you're home from your encounter. I think it's definitely special. I was reading, what is the Yowie movie on Prime? Track. Track, TRAC. At least it used to be on Prime. It still should be on there now, but Evan, I'll get you a link regardless. And Flat Rock said finally getting Connor up here this weekend. Yes, I am so excited to finally visit Flat Rock's farm. I'm going to be up there with Tyler Howell Outdoors and Squatch in South Florida. We're going to be finishing up our documentary From Fear to Understanding. I'm just so pumped. Like it's this world provides beautiful things when you make it happen, guys. So just follow your dreams, spread your wings, 1,000,000%.
And beyond that, guys, it's paranormal time. All right. What video am I showing here first? Let me see here. Let me see. Am I showing speaking to spirits and ghosts at Vulture City's Paranormal Convention? Is that the convention one? So apparently in California, there's a city, I think it's California. There's a city called Vulture City, and I guess they have a paranormal convention. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys in the news. I have a friend over the weekend that said, "Hey, Eric, you need to check out this new movie. It's called Deep Waters on Hulu Original. It's a thriller. It's man, the end's gonna the twist at the end is gonna trip you out." And so I'll do a fast review. So this is what I think of it. Somebody asked me, so he asked me, tell me if you like it or not. Well, I'll say it like this. I'd rather take a shit in a box and watch that for 2 hours than that fucking movie. My shit will probably be more exciting than what I saw in that movie. So Deep Waters with Ben Affleck. I'm sorry, not for me.
Eric, even the director, he's on Letterboxd, that social media that I'm on, and he said, I directed the movie and I don't like it. I suggest putting it on mute and just watching for Anna. She is so fine. She's the Cuban main character girl. My buddy Jack, who directed Void Cat and, Zillafoot, he's all into like crazy movies and stuff. And I watched it and I knew what part he would like. And he watched it. He's like, yo, guess my favorite line. And I knew it was when she has him in bed and she's like, kiss my ass. And he just puts his head in her butt crack. And I'm like, yep, that's Jackson. And I was right, of course. But
I'm sorry, guys.
So fine.
You guys might like it. I think my shit's more exciting than that movie. Listen, he's right. That girl in there's hot. So I'm like, okay, well, at least show me some sex scenes or something. And they showed like the flirts, but they never really get into it. There was like at least be like Basic Instinct. Show some fucking sexual shit if you're gonna have a boring movie. Sell me with other stuff. But like I said, I'm not lying. My shit's more exciting than that movie. But here we go. Arizona. This is actually in Arizona.
Arizona is known for a lot of things: insane weather, rich history, and of course, many adventures. All summer, we've taken you around the state on Route 2021, and now this fall, we're getting kind of spooky. Just outside of Phoenix sits Wickenburg, and inside that tiny city lies a little place called Vulture City, and the abandoned gold mining town lives up to its name. Now, Joe and I, not brave enough to head out to Vulture City, right, Joe? But Crystal, she's
Connor
there
will
for
go.
the terrifying tour.
Discovery Plus, sponsor us.
That's right. Vulture City is not only known for its gold, but also its ghosts. Now, it is in fact the headquarters of the paranormal conference this weekend, featuring those terrifying tours. Here's a sneak peek at the spooks. Welcome to Vulture City. This ghost town is a hot spot for hauntings. I wonder where they get that idea.
My name's Rod Pratt.
And I'm Robin Pratt.
We own Vulture City.
We didn't know it came with ghosts.
Don't hug the dolls.
Hi, I'm Marie Yates, paranormal investigator. We are here in the Izzy Paranormal Corner at the Roost.
I hear you have a special connection with dolls.
I hear spirits. A lot of spirits actually attach themselves to dolls.
Annabelle?
Izzy is a little spirit. She's about 9 years old, and she's a resident here in Vulture City. She has attached herself to this dowel. This thing will just go off and start playing by itself. And Izzy's telling me all the time, oh, I play it all the time for everybody because it's pretty music. This town is the most haunted location I've ever investigated.
Where are we now?
You know, guys, every town is the most haunted. Every video I play, you guys hear that a lot. The most haunted in this, most haunted there. It might be haunted for her, but it doesn't mean you go there and it's going to be that haunted for you. Maybe they just like her or something. You don't know. So don't always agree when they keep saying it's the most haunted. Okay, maybe.
Now.
Jay Yates, paranormal investigator here in the Assay building.
Where you're standing right now, you had a really creepy encounter before.
And you'll see that a light anomaly just comes out of nowhere and directly moves straight into my mouth. I was here closing up for the day. I happened to come into this door right behind me. Oh my God. You hear the jiggling of the door handle, right? They want me to leave, so the door opens right up for me to leave. We really like to communicate with you, so if there's any assayers that are in this building or any miners, feel free to come forward and communicate with us. I'm also holding a pair of dowsing rods. By crossing these like this, that would be a yes response. Outward like this would be a no. If there's any miners in here with us this evening, can you please let us know by a yes response? Okay, that's a pretty quick yes. Do you mind if we take some of the gold home with us? That was definitely a hard no.
Spirits, do you like being on camera?
Lately.
They're pointing to the camera.
That is the camera, yes. Do you guys like being on camera?
Yes.
Oh my God.
My name is Nicholas Aberly. I'm a paranormal investigator, and this building is called The Brothel. There are 3 spirits mainly that reside and roam in here. I can go ahead and tell you a little bit more about Mexican Rita. So some of Rita's favorite things would have to be her perfume. So every single day she would freshen up to be able to see
literally
a
open
customer.
for them.
I gotta get a picture of this. Whoa! Do you see that? I'm still a little worried about this hand. Anyways, yes, the paranormal conference that is happening here in Vulture City this weekend. There's a celebrity meet and greet. There's going to be a lot more paranormal investigations like you just saw there. UFO sky watching. Historians will be.
It's not a party unless me and Connor's there. I'm sorry, you know, but it'd be fun to go. You know, they need like regular people like ourselves there. But you know what interesting about that is. We've seen a lot of stories about haunted dolls and creepy dolls. There's the doll island outside of Mexico. And didn't you or somebody was trying to sell a haunted doll?
Yeah, a brother and sister were being haunted by a doll, and I helped them get rid of it.
You know, and these ghost towns. There's actually a new show on Discovery Plus. It just came out. You know, I check out different paranormal shows. It's called the Ghost Town Terror. So apparently, God, is it Montana or Wisconsin? I can't remember. Where this lady bought this property and she bought all these houses and she brought it to her property. So the story goes in this town that each house is haunted. So now this whole town is haunted, and apparently, now this is the thing. This is why I bring it up. The lady who owned it said it's all haunted, and she wanted to commit suicide and made her think differently. And she said it was so bad that she had to leave. Let me hear that. She had to leave. So she sold it. She sold it to a lady that's from Washington that has kids, and they moved to this town. And of course, now they're experiencing it, feeling like suicidal in some kind of way and all that. And this is the thing. I don't know if it's real or not. If you were an owner and you know it's haunted and it made it to a point where you thought about committing suicide, so you had to leave. If you know that in good conscience, how could you sell this to a widow, not a widow, but a woman who got divorced and her kids? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's me, but I'm like, that's why I'm thinking there's something fake here, because if I felt like something wanted me to hurt myself, to kill myself, I cannot sell it to a woman with kids. Now, there's a paranormal group, grown-ups, that wanted to buy it, okay. But a family with kids, I'm thinking it's a show right there. It's a brand new show. There's only been like 2 episodes, and it's called like Ghost Town Terror. And I'm just sitting there like, because they interviewed the original lady owns it. She's like, yeah, I felt suicidal. I'm like, you did? And you sold it to a family with kids? I don't know. If something happened to those kids, I don't know. Maybe she should be arrested.
Hey, sometimes people get into binds and money. You see it in every movie. You know, we spent every dollar we had in this. You know, we have to tough it out or sell it. Hopefully, they at least gave them fair warning that it came with dark thoughts.
Oh, you buy it. It comes with a TV show. I don't know. It'd be like Connor has this haunted doll and it's evil, and he sells it to my daughter. I'd be like, you motherfucker. I mean, really. I mean, it's just like that. I'm sorry, guys. This next one is just called Spooky on Camera.
Time for Halloween. We have a fun, mysterious video to show you this morning that was captured on a Roanoke surveillance camera overnight. Take a look at this. The owner, who wanted to remain anonymous, is baffled by that glowing orb there moving across her porch. So she received an alert on her phone from her security system that motion was detected, and this is when it started to record. And you can see that orb of light there that kind of looks like a big old pigeon that's glowing, moving across her porch, which has people on social media speculating all kinds of crazy things. It's been really fun. In this second video, she sent the first one. Okay, there we go. That second video that we're talking about, that's a similar orb of light that's bouncing around in the middle of the top left corner there. She says this is unlike anything she's seen on her camera before. So she's pretty clear that it's not a bug, but it's just fun to speculate what it actually is. I don't know. I think it's either some crazy monster spider or a ghost. Either way. Can't be anything but, right?
That one right there kind of looks like the movie Flubber. It's just bouncing around.
It's a flubber ghost.
It's radioactive flubber. There you go.
Oh my God. So I posted this on my Facebook page. Tell us what you think it is. Wow. We've had fun with it.
I would think something like that, because when I saw that, I'm like, has anybody tried debunking it? What I mean is, if they think it's a spider, can somebody capture a spider and put it there at night or something, try to recapture that light, unless somebody magically put it there on the camera. But if they didn't, maybe put an animal at an angle or certain light. I mean, I'm not saying it's real or not, but like here, Chasing the Sean G wrote, looks like a big old spider, dead chicken. Why would a dead chicken be bouncing around like that? I like it.
There was some chicken that lived without its head for like 9 months.
Well, if you chop off a chicken's head, the body will move until it finally stops. So maybe.
It was really fascinating. It kind of looked intelligent. And then there was little light beams that like dropped off of it. And there was 2 sections, and those perfectly mirrored each other. So I feel like that was like some kind of reflection or some kind of weird energy. Let's see, look, those 2 perfectly mirror each other. Those 2 like break-offs. But when it was swirling like that, it definitely seemed intelligent. Like that seems like something. It's very interesting. I love that they captured it and allowed the platform to share it. And Roanoke has tons of, other mysteries about all the people going missing. And then American Horror Story dove into some of the other curses in that area. So maybe it's just some residual energy.
You ever seen Mama Duck and it's following by a couple of ducks? If you look at it, it looks like a duck moving its head and 2 baby ducks are following it.
Yeah. And then watch, another light beam comes off of that right there. Yeah, and then it mirrors it perfectly. It's very weird. Yeah. It's definitely some kind of energy.
So I thought that was a pretty good video. But beyond that, guys, it's time for UFO. I don't know which UFO video I'm playing first. Hold on.
Sky last night over Oahu.
Okay, so that one is called caught on camera, strange light spot over Awa, whatever he says. So he was right. That's what that was called.
The attention of many people. Howard Dashevsky joins us with more. Howard?
Joe, that's the question. What was it? What did people see? We did receive a lot of reports via our reported feature on our website. A lot of viewers wondering what those lights were over West Oahu. Check out this video from one of our viewers, Mash Hatai. He said he woke up at about 2:30 this morning, get a drink of water, and this is what he saw in the sky. Certainly caught his eye. He took the video from Kaka'ako and thinks the lights were over Central or West Oahu. Hard to tell from his vantage point. As you can see, the two bright lights,
and
then
the third
slowly
one.
a third light appears. Hatai believes he saw about 8 to 10 of the lights total. He says he believes, at least he thinks, they're probably flares.
It looks like flares. Definitely could have been taken as something more mysterious. But yeah, it's definitely probably just flares, military flares. Definitely really unusual to see.
But real quick, now he's saying flares. Now, if you shoot a flare up, especially the third light up there, if you shot a flare up there, can it go that high up?
And it would come down eventually, and it would burn out eventually. I think the description kind of looks like a flare, but nothing other than that, you know? No properties or anything, but just the color maybe it looks like a flare.
Yeah. Right. I guess I couldn't really get the full gist of it with my camera since it was so far away, but it was really, really bright. I mean, I looked out my lanai, and it was literally the first thing I saw.
Now, we did check today with the FAA whether they received any reports. They did not. We also checked with the Hawaii Air National Guard, the U.S. Army, Schofield Barracks. In the past, when we've received reports about similar lights, it did wind up being due to military training. We're still waiting to hear exactly.
Or is it? Or the military just saying that? We talked about that before. If there's some truth to the matter, they're not going to let you know. I'm sorry. They're not. And actually, the next video is a mysterious flying object alerts military aircraft. So this one's supposed to be with the military here.
Start with a mysterious flying object on the island of Kauai.
Yeah, so mysterious it
Hey,
sent
why is that
military
a lot of
jets
football?
scrambling to figure out what it was earlier this week. As Manola Morales tells us, witnesses say it's still not exactly sure what they saw.
Photographer Abe Coates took this picture on Monday after he saw his neighbor gazing up with a puzzled look. The Princeville resident didn't quite know what to make of it.
This is this big, like, bright star, but it's still sort of daylight out. That's what it first seemed like. But I'm like, it's bigger. It's like not getting close to dusk. We shouldn't be seeing any stars this time of day. That's when I got my camera.
Coates is used to pointing his camera toward the sky, but this was unlike any he's ever seen.
Celestial events, I love to photograph. I love to photograph the moon. So it was easy to, like, focus in on that. You know, I was like, it's probably a planet. And then when I took a picture, I'm like, no, it's not a planet.
He says things got even stranger when people saw military jets flying and heard sonic booms over the area.
Hey, real quick, Flat Rock wrote, Jonathan Autumn from Alabama Paranormal Bigfoot has a great video cue close to the ground. And thing is, well, the reason I stopped this real quick, like I clicked on it and it says the video's not there anymore. Hold on, let me try again. Oh, no, it's there. It's there. Okay, maybe I just did it wrong. Okay.
They were trying to hide it from you the first time.
Yeah,
Wonder how much that happens, and people don't click it the second time, and then boom, mission accomplished for
Well,
the
I'm not.
feds.
I'm not going to show anybody that video clip because I'll save that for Thursday.
Yes.
Kauai is home to the Pacific Missile Range. Major General Kenneth Hara sent out a tweet saying, in accordance with Homeland Defense procedures, Pacific Air Forces launched tactical aircraft to intercept and identify the object, visually confirming an unmanned balloon without observable identification markings.
Not surprised that it was being monitored. And I guess if the military figured out what it is, they don't want us to know, or they actually don't know what it is, which would be surprising.
Hara's tweet
like
adds,
that.
as part of our normal daily operations, we closely track all vessels and aircraft in the Indo-Pacific area to protect the U.S. homeland. Manola Morales, KHON2 News, working for Hawaii.
Seems like Hawaii's been getting a lot of weird things in the sky. Are they UFOs? Are they military? You know, if it is UFOs, what's so attractive about Hawaii? And I think maybe Hawaii has such a different kind of an environment, a lot of a tropical environment. So maybe that's why they're there. What do you think?
Something's at the bottom of the volcanoes, you know, and then the lava tubes definitely go somewhere, and the puckwudgies, and just it's one of the last places to be totally rewritten, you know. And sadly, a lot of Hawaii natives are, you know, dealing with sadly pale-faced people that are going there and just tearing the place up. So I follow a lot of Hawaii awareness, and you know, sadly, I'm on the opposite side of that. So they don't want me in Hawaii either. I just want to spread my positive vibes, and you know, hopefully they figure it out over there.
They don't want me. I've never been to Hawaii, and I live close to it too. It's not that far from here. What is this? Volcano energy? That's okay. Okay. No,
and for all my Floridians, there are volcanoes in Florida. Wakulla has a legend of one, and then Chipley has a legend of one. So, guys, we have pyramids, we have volcanoes, we have magic.
I love this. Weather balloons work for Roswell. That's true. That's true. If you believe there's a water or you believe a weather balloon, then you'll believe anything. All right, guys. It's time for the Mandela effect, but this is kind of a different kind of a Mandela effect today. So this might, just trust me, this is a little different. This is more of a different kind of a challenge, if you know what I'm talking about. Here we go.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
Luke, I am your father.
This is kind of different, okay? Lake 281 sent me an email saying, Eric, can you tell me what are some Mandela effects that are not Mandela effects for you, and explain why? So it's reverse. I'm like, what are not for me, and explain why? I'm like, that's a good challenge question. You know, it really is. You know, what are not for me? And it doesn't mean because I say it's not for me, it doesn't mean it's for you or anybody else. Actually, on the thumbnail, I did kind of put a picture of my 3 for me that it's not. And let me show you guys what it is. Hold on. Okay, first one. There we go. The first one on this picture is the Bible. The Bible for me, the Bible for me is not a Mandela effect for me for one reason. I never read it. That's the number one reason. I never read it. So if somebody comes to me and says, Eric, there's a verse that's changed in it, I wouldn't know. I don't even know the original verses. I mean, I really don't. Even though I have a grandpa who's a minister, and to me, if I'm going to listen to somebody, because it seems like this is the flavor of the month. Everybody's talking about Bible changes. So if I'm going to listen to somebody who talks about the Bible change, I do have a couple criteria. Have you read the Bible? Okay. And how many Bibles have you read? Because there's so many different kind of Bibles out there. I need somebody who's read several, because there has been thousands of words change, writings, you know, the companies. You guys know what I'm talking about. So for
new
me,
editions, 100%.
And I'm just saying, for me, I've never read it. So it'd be like, now, if I did a Bible show, I have to do it on a point of view of an opinion. What are your thoughts? I can't come here and say, hey, Connor, the wolf and the lamb or whatever it was before. I can't do that because I never read it. I'd be calling myself, I hate to say it, call myself a hypocrite, because if it hasn't changed for me, I can't call it a fact for me. I never read the book. Maybe I should read it. I heard it's one of the greatest literature, but then if I do read the Bible, which one do I read?
Yeah. And if it changes anyway, Mandela effects anyway, you're going to forget about it anyway.
Yeah. Most don't know the Mandela effect goes back to the submarine times. Well, yeah. If you take away the name, the phenomenon has always been there. The name, of course, got created in 2009 by Broom. They named it to sell books. I hate to say it. It is what it is. Okay.
Even in the Sumerian tablets, Zechariah Sitchin, he transcribed it and he said, no, it is Berenstein bears, not Berenstain. Of course, I'm just making a joke, but the Sumerian tablets pretty much were the foundation of Earth. So, of course, it would all go back to that source, man. That's very cool information.
Yep. I started noticing the effect in 1994. Yeah, and guys, I'm not saying the effect's not real. It is real. But I'm just saying I can't use that. I just can't. What is this? Revelations. Oh, well, just one is enough, apparently, nowadays. See, if you read it, I could listen to you if you've read the several books, and it's a change for you, then it's a change for you. But I can't say it is for me because I never read it. I'm not going to be that person, because here's one right here. Nelson Mandela. Okay, now, first of all, I'm going to be honest on this one. Anybody who's the age of 46 and below, I'm not going to listen to you, because I've seen a bunch of 30-year-olds saying Nelson Mandela is my top 5 Mandela effect change. And I'm sitting there like, well, if you weren't born, where did you see his death on TV? You know what I mean? And you got to think about it, guys. Apparently, he's supposed to die at 1983. Okay, now, first of all, 1983, we didn't have a lot of 24-hour news channels. There were pockets of news channels, like 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day on local TV and stuff. And cable TV, back then, you had to be rich. You had to have money to have cable TV. It's not like nowadays. So, and Nelson Mandela is an easy one for anybody who say, this is mine, and it's not. Now, don't get me wrong, like chasing Sean G, he remembers this, but he's at the age. He's at the right age. So I can listen to him. Where if he says during that timeline, okay, he's at the right age. Me, I'm 48 years old. I was too fucking young. In 83, I wasn't young, but 83, I was 10 years old. Okay? 10 years old, watching the news, okay. I'm going to sit there and watch the news over the Looney Tunes or whatever cartoons that are on. I'm going to watch the news, and the news is going to show me he wasn't even prime minister in the 80s. They're going to show me some guy that, no offense to him, that I would even give a fuck about during that time. Now he's important. He made important changes to the world. He became prime minister. That's a big change. But before that, listen, I didn't even know who fucking Gandhi was until there's a movie called Gandhi. No offense. So
I'm pretty sure Gandhi was a child trafficker, so you're not missing out.
You know what I mean? It's now here's an interesting one. Now, see airplane engines. This is my third one, and then I'll be done. I won't sit here. My son goes to a school called Aviation High School. So that's his high school. So his school is connected to the Museum of Flight. Okay? So I see airplanes every freaking day. I see airplanes, big and huge, all around there. I was taking pictures. I didn't put pictures on this laptop. I wish I did. Okay? I see these engines every day. Okay? So it's hard to know the different size of engines. It's hard to know if an engine has changed. Now, my brother, Dr. Wu, worked at the Museum of Flight for over 10 to 14 years. So he was with these planes. So if he tells me about a change, I could believe him because he worked at it every single day. But most people don't even get to see planes every day like I can driving there. So are people, I'm just asking, are regular people really staring at engines to know that they've changed? How would you know if it's changed? It's not like there's cars parked on your street every day. I mean, how close do you get to an engine at an airport? That's why I'm bringing it up. That for me, that's why I don't talk about engines, because even me's probably seeing way more engines than most all of you, because my son goes to school at the Museum of Flight. So that's why I don't talk too much about it, because, and there's only limited to people who I will listen to on engines. I'll listen to my brother because he worked there, and I'll listen to mechanics. Beyond mechanics, pilots, people who works actually at the airports with the planes outside. Who can you trust? I'm being honest here. Who can you trust on a real effect on this, when most of the time you're seeing airplanes from magazines, pictures, or from the sky? I'm just saying. I'm not. I was challenged. And these are my three.
I like it. Mine, I mentioned earlier, the Berenstein Bears. It is not staying for me. At my grandparents' house, in our grandchildren's bathroom, there was a magazine about Princess Diana, and now I know to look at that as she was murdered, of course. And then Berenstein Bears, not Stain, not A-I-N, it was Steen. But again, I think there are so many out there, and sometimes it's misremembering. Sometimes it might be a new timeline, and then other times it is just people wanting to fit in and be involved. Like, if anybody is under that age, like my age, saying, oh yeah, Mandela, the Nelson Mandela effect. Come on, man. You can find your own out there. Just dive in deep enough. And I also love the Tinkerbell Disney thing. Before the movie, they would do that little tune, and then she'd dot the I on Disney. And now if you look back, can't find it anywhere. I swear I remember that.
This is great. I'm glad you brought up the Berenstein, because the Berenstein is something that we all have access to. Everybody has access to those books as a kid. You know, there's no barriers. There's no behind a fence at an airport. There's no Berenstein books only came out during one time in the 80s, and the books never came back out. So Berenstein, like Monopoly, everybody has access to Monopoly. So, those everybody can have. But I do like what Venom says. If you are Mandela affected, you don't need to be convinced. If you're not Mandela affected, you can't be convinced. It's simple. And he's right. I always said that it's either a change for you or it's not. And I was talking to my brother before the show, there's too many people that want to be in the community so bad, they'll say every change is there. But you don't have to do that. Listen, if there's 100 changes, you only need 1 or 3 of those to be a change for you.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that never read Berenstein books like I haven't. But you have. Now the Disney one's a good one about the
Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell, because everybody knows Disney. Everybody has watched Disney. I mean, Disney cartoons has came out in the 50s, starting with what is it? Is it Snow White the first one? Or is it Sleeping Beauty? I'm trying to remember. Or one of them. Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, Cinderella, all throughout. And everybody remembers the beginning of that little thing. And almost every single kid has one time in their life have seen the original intro to Disney. That is an effect that everybody could have.
Uh-huh.
I haven't met one person. Maybe there is one person who's never watched a Disney movie. Maybe there is. Maybe I'm missing it. But most everybody somewhere have seen a Disney movie.
And it's very interesting because we have like VHSs here of the Disney movies, and it's like, did they somehow zap those VHSs that we have in our drawers and now it's different, or can we find the proof of Tinkerbell? And I think it's truly amazing.
In those VHS tapes, Tinkerbell waved her wand. Yeah, she did. With the stars going out of the wand over the castle. Missed that one.
Yep. And now we can't find it anywhere.
No, and that is a weird one because I remember when we were talking about way in the past on that one, it's like, you try to debunk it. Was there something almost like that? There's really nothing like the intro of Disney.
Right. And it was one of a kind. We all remember it. One of the basic ones, of course, Ghostbusters. Is there a space between it or is there not? So it could be little subtleties. And one really close one to me, too, is J.C. Penney's and J.C. Penney, because my grandparents and my mom, they'd always be like, we're going to J.C. Penney's, and I don't know if they even read it on there. They just always called it J.C. Penney's. So sometimes it's like a oral thing different than you actually reading it. So I love it because it just shows the magic that really surrounds us, and our memories and our past are not as clear as we like to believe.
Yeah. And guys, that's one thing I like about VHS tapes, because I always feel like if you get lucky to find changes, it'll probably be in these videotapes, I mean, like when I heard the C3PO thing, trust me, I've watched these. These are the original. These are not THX remix. These is when this was with CBS Fox. Does anybody out there remember CBS Fox? Of course, now Fox is with Disney and CBS is with Paramount. But does anybody remember CBS Fox? So these are originals, and I feel like if you're going to find changes in movies, it'd probably be with the VHS tapes.
What's up, Duke? Good to see you. But yeah, that's the cool thing about collecting, and that's the danger of everything going digital. They're rewriting TV shows that they don't like on these Disney and Paramount platforms, and it's their rights to do so. So yeah, guys, buy your VHS tapes, buy CDs, buy my book, because they'll probably make it rewrite that too. But yeah, man, it really brings you back to that moment when you were a kid and when you had that VHS yourself, because I best believe that I saw Tinkerbell, but yeah, no one has it now. No one has evidence.
Yeah.
And while we got a slow minute too, I also just want to shout out to a good friend of mine. His name's Josh Scampatilla. He was like 31 or 32 years old. He passed away a couple days ago. He's my best friend growing up. We kind of drifted apart over the years, of course, but I got to talk to him within the year. And he actually watched my video in January on Bigfoot. So it's crazy that, our viewers are our loved ones. And Tim Cut, I just want to say rest in peace to him too.
Hold on, Chad. You're going to have to stay for a second. Great show, guys. Keep up. Keep me up too late, but can't miss you guys. Hold on, Chad. Something happened today, and it's your show's fault. I know it's the magic of your show. You're asking yourself, what are you talking about? Well, Chad, I was watching you guys. I was at the doctor's office. I told you guys at the doctor's office. While I was watching you, they're drawing blood from my daughter, and she almost passed out and hit the ground. I'm not trying to laugh at it, but I'm like, God damn, Chad. Now, actually, we all, Connor, you know about tarot cards. Tarot cards are this is not Mandela effect, guys. Mandela effect's over. Okay, here's spooky. Now, are tarot cards real, right? Are they the magic, or is it the person that has the magic? That's the question. Okay, over the weekend, this Sunday, Chad actually did a card for me. He drew the card. I'm going to pull this up, and I want all of you guys to watch the card he pulls for me and see what he says. And we're going to write this down. And at the end of the week, I want to see if Chad has the magic and what he says in that card is going to come true. Because if it doesn't, I'm coming for you, buddy. Here we go. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Okay. You can see this channel is called Sunny Morning Readings with Cassie, Chad, and Molly. It's on Oracles and Beyond channel. In this section of the show, he's drawing a card for me.
And just real quick before you start it, I just want to say thank you to everybody that showed love. Josh actually introduced me to Jeepers Creepers and 13 Ghosts, and I still have the DVDs that he gave me. So one of these days, probably tomorrow, I'm going to go to my mom's house, get my hands on them, That way I can, feel his energy again, but I'm also going to shout him out in a video because you guys know 13 Ghosts, Jeepers Creepers has a lot to do with my research and my life now. So it's really cool that my big homie had something to do with this. So definitely rest in peace. And one day in heaven is 1,000 years on earth. So it's just like he's going to be waiting for me to get off of lunch, So definitely stay positive, but rest in peace. And it definitely hit me hard having a best friend from childhood and then also a viewer, Tim Cut, that I got cut off. But yeah, man, I cherish all you guys, and I hope you guys cherish this energy away from the static of the world. But Chad and Molly and Spooky, great energy over on Cassie's channel. I have screen capped my own oracles and mixed them into my investigation video. So it's really cool. And Chad has definitely gained some ground on his bridge to knowledge and wisdom, man. I still remember when he first got his cards and he was, dropping them while shuffling. Now he's the main dealer. Even Las Vegas is checking him out. But can't wait to hear this, man. But thank you, everybody. But I am at peace with it because I know that he is at peace now. I definitely feel for his family, though, and that's who we have to be strong for. Thank you, guys.
Weird. You and I both have best friends we grew up with. It's just weird. Just within 2 weeks. I mean, I'm not saying there's a connection there, but it's just very strange, and it just tells you, man, life man, don't take life granted, people. Work it. Now, let's see if Chad is going to have magic. First of all, let's see what he says about my card. Here we go.
Man, yeah, jumper, Eric. Eric, are you focusing, bud? Focus, man, focus.
I'm always focusing.
I need a card for you. Focus on a question or something that you're wondering about.
And I wrote in there, I'm focusing in the chat.
There we go. See, that's what it was. Eric just wasn't focusing. There we go. You got Freedom Horse, buddy.
Freedom Horse!
Freedom Horse.
Now let's
Never
see.
pulled this card before.
Never pulled the card before.
Oh, hey, Enzo.
Wild horses that are in
Enzo, good morning.
Tennessee.
What was that, Molly? Sorry.
It reminds me of the wild horses that are in Tennessee.
Oh, there's wild horses in Tennessee.
And here's the
And I
link.
think there's some in New York too. There's like an island.
Here's a link to the show so you guys
Really?
can go there and subscribe yourself.
Wild horses in
Filled
New
with
York?
wild horses.
That would be amazing to go visit.
I got subtitles on so we can make sure we
Imagine pulling
heard
up to an
everything he
island and there's
says
just a bunch of
correctly.
horses hanging out with you. You just
Okay,
got a
come on,
campfire
Chad,
and
hurry
a
up.
bunch of
Chad,
wild
hurry up.
horses come and hang out.
Read my card.
Heavenly.
No pillow talk. No pillow talk, Chad. Here we go.
Okay, this is for why do I keep doing that? I keep forgetting who I'm pulling this for. Eric, right?
Look, is that an omen? He forgot he was pulling it for me. That's an
Eric's
omen. That's an
Paranormal
omen. I'm worried
Highway.
now.
You got Freedom Horse. Huh?
It's in Virginia. I'm sorry. The Wild Horse
Okay.
Island.
There's really a wild horse island.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's a Mandela effect.
I can't pronounce it. Acetikis, wild horses.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's Eric's card.
All right, here we go.
Let your spirit fly. Do not hold back. Break free and express yourself. Flaunt your stuff. Dance, laugh, explore, and go beyond predictable behavior. Get out of the rut. You don't need to fit the mold. Be daring. Fling your arms to the heavens. Enjoy. Your native spirit wants you to know the horse allowed the natives of the Americas and Mongolia to travel great distances with ease. The horse also carried their supplies, which additionally granted freedom to those ancient peoples. This card shows you to remind you that you aren't here to be ordinary, but to step beyond limitations and self-imposed boundaries. Don't allow yourself to be trapped by convention or the expectations of others. You have the ability to choose your life on your terms. Replace the phrase "I should" with "I could."
Yes.
But I chose not to at this time. Perhaps you aren't always free to create the exact circumstances of your life, but you're certainly able to decide what meaning to give those situations.
Yeah.
Select meanings that empower you, for this is the time to break free.
Yes.
The way you use your body can change your state. Put on music and dance with wild Anon Abandon. Abandon. What is that word? Abandon? The way you use your body can change your state. Put on music and dance with wild abandon. I think it's abandon.
You sure it's not Dance Naked?
Put on music and dance with wild abandon. As you do so, this sends a powerful message to your subconscious that you're indeed truly free.
That's a good one.
Yeah, sorry, I can't read.
While you were reading, I got a package.
All right.
What? We got a live on air.
All right. So we heard that. So I'm going to break free. I'm going to be more myself. I'm going to be the man. So hopefully Chad has the magic, has the touch. See what happens. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was actually pretty fun. Is it true? And I said in the chat, during that week I was in a rut, like I said, just like Connor, had a couple of people passed away, and it just seems like, holy shit, one thing after the other. So, and it's basically saying, take charge yourself, break free, dance. And let me tell you something. He's on to something there. Dance, music. Let me tell you something. Music's been boring lately, in my opinion. Music's been boring, right? And it seems like every band during the pandemic, every band member of a band is making albums. This guitar player is making an album. This drummer is making an album. This bass player is making an album. Everybody's making these albums, but they all sound the same. You can tell all these bands, they're using that voice recording thing because it doesn't sound the same, right? It doesn't sound the same. But I'm gonna tell you guys something. A song that shocked the fuck out of me from an older band came out Friday over the weekend, and it made me dance. It's gonna shock you. Def Leppard is having a new album out. The album's not out yet, but they put out a new song called Kick. And holy shit, that fucking... I swear, you guys got to, after the show, type in Def Leppard's new song Kick. Oh my God, it's fun again. It's fun. And like Chad said, got to dance. I want to dance to that song. It's like music has been missing that fun, that simple fun. I feel like some music they get complicated. They want this complicated sound, or everybody's sounding the same with the recordings. And it's like Def Leppard comes out with the song. The album's not out yet, just a song. That's fun again. That type of style where you get to sing onto the chords. That Let It Go, Photograph, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Armageddon, or whatever kind of song. That fun. Like we talked about at the beginning of the show, punk rock, that simple 3 chords, have fun, get the song out, you want to sing along. Music right now does not have that. And when I heard that song over the weekend, I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Great song. And then Chad read the card. I'm sure Chad didn't know that I heard the new song, that I need to dance to music. And honestly, that song made me dance. I'm just saying. We need a proof of Eric's dancing. Long time ago, Spooky, a long time ago, when we hit a benchmark of certain amount of subscribers, I said, if we hit this, I went on air and did a chicken dance for people. I don't know what video that was that I did a chicken dance, but Spooky Morales, one time I did a chicken dance on screen, on air. So, no, that. So, yeah, I'm going to their concert in August 31st or September 1st. I can't remember, but sometimes music or even life can be complicated. Oh, yeah. Right? I bet Connor could tell you that. Life could be complicated, but sometimes stripping life down, make it more simpler, is better. Music doesn't have to be complicated. Ball it down. Why does everything have to be complicated nowadays? Get the complications out and have fun again. Shit, just like the car. Just like we were saying all week, Connor. We were saying all week last week. Gotta get out, because I have a friend who just passed away. He had a friend who just passed away. Man, life is fucking short. And the thing is, his friend, my friend, 40s, 30s, 20s, way too short in life. Way too short. You know, I'm thinking to myself, God, damn, what if that's me one day, waking up, feeling pain, going to the hospital and sitting there on the bed, wishing that I'd done all this, I'd done all that. I wish I could have done it. Do it now, people. Listen, if you want to do a YouTube channel and you're thinking about it, don't think about it. Just do it. You know, I remember a friend said, like, if you want to make a movie, when should you start? Well, when did you start making a movie or a documentary? You got a phone, right? You got a phone. Hit record. Start recording. Start now. Record everything. Write things down. Because everything that you record, you can make it into a documentary. There is no reason to wait anymore, people. There is no reason to wait. You know? Enjoy the life, because I told you guys this before, the Social Distortion song, Reach for the Sky. Reach for the sky, because tomorrow may never come. And that is a fact. You know, it's just, and Connor telling us a story about his best friend, again, it just tells you, fuck, you just fucking don't know.
We got to make the best of our moments 100%. And Eric, I actually have a family here right now, and he just subscribed to your channel and to the show. And he's very interested in our future shows. They are big DC and Joker fans. And we were trying to hunt down Dark Knight Rises. And I was telling him how I've actually been to a couple of the filming locations. But yeah, man, it's really cool. And you have to grasp the moment, because before you know it, it's all just memories, and the memories fade and they get blurry. So just be in the now and tell the ones you love that you love them, and tell people when you're upset with them. Don't make people read your mind. You know, just be flat out honest, and I think we'll get a lot farther. And as a community, we need to take the same reflection too, to try to gain proof on this. Let's go full speed and not build any walls or have any preconceived, notions held against each other.
I do gotta say one last thing, because World Bigfoot wrote, speaking of old fart bands still kicking ass, you have heard Firepower by Judas Priest yet? That's a good song. And I'm gonna tell you something, World Bigfoot Radio. Judas Priest is one of the bands that has been shafted by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, has been shafted by the music community. This band has been around almost the same time as Black Sabbath. They came after Black Sabbath, but they were during that first tier type of bands. I say first tier, the Aerosmiths, the Black Sabbaths, the Kiss bands. And for Judas Priest to not be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a fucking shameful. And they're on the ballot this year. If they don't get in, I'm telling you, if Judas Priest does not get in, the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a fucking sham. Dolly Parton did the most rock and roll thing ever. She came out and sent a text or a letter to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame saying, hey, thank you for nominating me, but I'm not rock and roll. I've never made a rock and roll album. And please take me off the ballot. Now, unfortunately, the ballots already went out, because people voting for me takes away from the actual real acts. And no offense to Eminem, Eminem should not be on that list for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They all have their own fames. Why can't Rock and Roll Hall of Fame be about rock and roll getting into it? Judas Priest should have been in there 20 years ago. And if they don't get in, I fucking don't understand. I seriously don't understand. I mean, they've been around since Black Sabbath and the Kiss days. People think of Judas Priest of 80s. Judas Priest has been there since the 70s. You know, you don't think of that. People think, they've been there in the 70s. They should have been in there. So, World Bigfoot, you are 100% right. And their new album is good. People should check it out. What does he say here? Grammy Awards proven thy were a sham when Jethro Tull. Don't get me started. Jethro Tull, when they beat over Metallica. Oh my God. Now I remember that. I remember watching that. I remember like, fucking Jethro Tull, the guy who plays the flute. And the thing is, it wasn't the best rock and roll album. It was the best heavy metal album. And fucking Jethro Tull wins it. Oh my God. But beyond that, guys, I think today was fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourselves and all that. And tomorrow is going to be tricky, guys. There's something I have to do tomorrow, and I'll be in contact with Connor and that throughout tomorrow. I don't know for a fact if I can have a show. I don't know all the details, but I'll do my best. And if I can't, I mean, I can't have a show maybe at 8 o'clock, but if I have to wait later that night, maybe like 9 o'clock my time or 10 o'clock my time, I'll probably then do a show on the Horror Talk channel. Talk movies, talk all of that. So it's just, I do want to do a show tomorrow, but I can't do it at 8 o'clock, and I can't do it sooner. But if I do a show tomorrow night, I'll put it in the community bar. That'll be over my Horror Talk if it's going to be later. And we'll just talk movies. We'll talk stuff that we haven't done in a long time and all that. So Connor, any last things you want to say before we go?
Yeah, man. Life is going to change after tonight. I have a cool interview with Dixie Cryptid this evening. Huge platform, and Cam is awesome. That we're going to have an awesome cryptid conversation that will hopefully push the game forward. And then I'm going to be on That One Time I Was Abducted by Aliens with Jamie and Bree. After that, I'm super excited to really break free. But this weekend is just going to be so revolutionary, hanging out and camping at Flat Rocks. I got my Sasquatch pheromone chips in the mail yesterday. Got my dowsing rods coming tomorrow. I can't wait to just use other divination techniques to combine with the forest, man. And World Bigfoot Radio, I definitely got you. I will send you an email very soon, man. Us like-minded people have to take this spirit and move forward in this community. But man, Bobby's Cryptid Corner, they've covered the Honey Island Swamp Monster, Ohio Grassman, pretty sure the Florida Skunk Ape. But me, I'm just Cryptid Connor, so I'm gonna really shake this bottle of pop up, and it's gonna explode.
And there's the link for tonight, for his show tonight, right there.
Yes. I don't think the Dixie Cryptid link is live right now, but just stay posted on his channel or on my community tab. That's going to be crazy. They have 700 live viewers, so it's going to be boom, 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 boom. You're going to hear my heart beating. It's going to be awesome. But I've been finding the right signs in life recently. Mental struggles, and then bright mornings. So you just have to find the balance. And I just want everybody to stay strong. Oh, I got you, Duke. I got you. I emailed Duke and called him a while back, like 6 months back, but now I've earned my stripes, I feel like.
Everybody, that's all email them. I'm just joking.
No, but Duke has an awesome show, great following, great platform. But what I love about him is he is open-minded, and he's done the boots-on-the-ground research and talked to people that are not stuck inside barriers, that it's actual free thought. We're actually getting real context from the guy, and I love that kind of stuff. So be on the lookout for the old school versus the new school, the young gunners, taking it all together, man. I'm just super excited. But yeah, man, today's a great day. You just got to make the best of with your time, and I definitely cherish all of you guys. Losing my friend Josh was like really personal, and I felt that. I understood that.
It wakes you up.
Tim Cut, that was crazy because he was just another name in the chat that was always greeting me, and I always called him Tim 2 or Tim Squared because it was Tim Cut. We just found out he might have passed away from a heart attack, but he was always in the Spaced Out Radio and with Steve and Cisco. But he supported my channel, and I appreciate all you guys, and I just hope I gain so much ground in this world that I remember these times, that we remember these moments, and I cherish it. That's all I can say.
No, that's awesome. I mean, just God, the heart attack thing. That's where my friend died from. He didn't even go to the hospital for a heart attack. He had it in the hospital. So guys, live life. Make the best of it. Show love, and we definitely appreciate you guys all being here, man. And definitely drop some donations, or if you can join the channel,
$2.99, guys, $2.99, and that goes a long way.
Yes.
We spend a lot more money on a lot more BS. So if you can support someone, it goes a long way. And I'm definitely excited for my channel to be monetized.
Oh, awesome.
I just applied for it right now. We might have to do the simulcast thing that Bigfoot Rob and Tex do, because pay me the money, baby. No, we just want it all over the place. But I'm super excited for the monetization, because like I want to do this for my life. I see a lot of people that do make a living out of this, and I don't know, man, they're about half as good.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, we got Michael Jordan and LeBron James of the Paranormal podcast right here, and it's sad when little players get, the 5-year deal. But again, it doesn't matter what documentary leaves me out. That's on them. Again, but you can't make a documentary about a conference without covering the big dog, the one who made a spark. But
right.
Everybody's coverage is different. I just know that I'm open-minded, and I'm open arms too to anybody that wants to come learn. Come get it.
Beyond that, guys, I'll see you mostly tomorrow, probably on the Horror Talk channel.
See ya.